My fiancée reconnected with her ex during a break, ghosted me for weeks, and then came back expecting a wedding. She didn't see my response coming. I'm a 29-year-old guy and my fiancée Lily, 27F, and I had been together for 3 solid years. She was everything you'd want in a partner, witty, sharp, charming, and had this incredible way of making you feel like you were the only person that mattered in any room. I proposed last year and we dove into planning a summer wedding. Things were going smoothly, or so I thought. Then one day, out of nowhere, Lily told me she was heading to her hometown to spend time with her sister. She's always been close with her family and she hadn't visited in a while, so it didn't raise any red flags. She packed an overnight bag, kissed me goodbye, and said she'd be back in a couple of weeks. The first night, she called to let me know she arrived safely. We texted a little, nothing unusual. But the next day the vibe shifted. She called me in the afternoon and said, "Hey, I need to talk to you about something." I said, "Okay, what's going on?" Then she hit me with, "I think I need some time to think." I was stunned. Think about what? Is this about the wedding? Are you overwhelmed? Did I do something wrong? She didn't really answer, just repeated that she needed space. I didn't want to press her, so I said, "All right. Take the time you need, but please keep me in the loop." She promised we'd talk soon. That was the last real conversation we had for weeks. After that, silence. I sent a few texts, just basic stuff, trying not to crowd her. "Hey, how are you? Hope you're doing okay." Nothing. I called, no answer. She stopped posting on social media, which was weird, considering she normally shares everything from her breakfast smoothie to her evening walks. I messaged her sister, hoping for some clarity. Her reply was vague. "Haven't seen her much, sorry." It didn't help. In fact, it made everything feel worse, like I was being frozen out on purpose. At this point, I wasn't sleeping. Friends told me not to panic, that maybe she just needed to clear her head. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. This wasn't like Lily. She never just disappeared. Especially not on me. I kept trying to rationalize it. Maybe she really did need space. Maybe she was dealing with something personal. But as the days stretched into weeks, the doubt crept in. Was she really with her sister? Or was there someone else? Eventually, I couldn't take it anymore. I packed an overnight bag, filled up my tank, and made the drive to her hometown. It wasn't short, and every mile felt like I was driving deeper into a storm I couldn't see the end of. When I got to her parents' place, I knocked. For a moment, I thought no one was home. Then Lily opened the door. The look on her face told me everything. She hadn't expected to see me. At all. We sat down and the air was thick with tension. She made small talk like nothing was wrong, but I wasn't having it. Finally, I asked, "Lily, what's going on? Why have you been ignoring me?" She looked away, hesitated, and then said it. "I ran into my ex when I got here." It hit like a punch to the gut. My mind reeled as she tried to explain, said it wasn't planned, that she saw him at the grocery store and they started talking. That word, talking, felt like a slap. I asked why she hadn't told me earlier. She said she didn't want to upset me until she figured out how she felt. How she felt. We were planning a wedding. And she was off revisiting unresolved feelings with her ex? Then came the real blow. I've been spending time with him. I needed to see if there were still feelings there. I couldn't believe it. She'd gone radio silent, left me hanging, all to explore whether she still had a connection with the guy she left behind. I told her I deserved better, that I wasn't going to sit around waiting for her to choose between me and her past. Her eyes welled up. She tried to defend herself, said she didn't want to hurt me, that she was confused. But it was too late. I stood up, looked her in the eye, and said, "I need some time to think." Then I walked out. The drive back was brutal, quiet, heavy, and hollow. I wasn't just heartbroken, I was betrayed. Not because she saw her ex, but because she shut me out and let me believe everything was fine. Because she left me in the dark while she chased ghosts. Days passed. I went through the motions at work. My friends were shocked when I finally told them. One said, "Dude, she should have told you the second she ran into him." Another, more bluntly, "If she's entertaining her ex while engaged to you, she doesn't deserve you." They were right. As painful as it was, I knew I had to accept the truth. She didn't respect me enough to be honest. And I couldn't marry someone who put me on pause while she played emotional roulette with her ex. And when she finally texted me a week later with a casual, "Hey, how are you?" like nothing had happened, I didn't answer. Because by then I had plans of my own. And she was no longer in them. I'd made up my mind. If Lily wanted to work things out, she was going to have to do a hell of a lot more than send a half-assed text. And even then, I wasn't sure I'd ever be able to look at her the same way again. I didn't reach out and she never followed up. The The silence between us felt like an unspoken agreement. We were done. As much as it hurt, I also felt a strange sense of relief. The silence was starting to grow on me. It wasn't exactly comforting, but at least it gave me space to think. I'd accepted that Lily wasn't coming back, and slowly I was starting to move on. I wasn't rushing into anything or trying to distract myself. I was just trying to rebuild some kind of normal. Then, like clockwork, she showed up. It was a Saturday afternoon. I was halfway through rewatching some random series I didn't even like, just something to keep my mind from spiraling. Then came a knock at the door. I figured it was a delivery or maybe Mark trying to drag me out of the house. But nope, it was Lily. She stood there like nothing had happened, smiling like she was delivering cookies to a neighbor. "Hey," she said casually, as if she hadn't ghosted me for weeks. I just stood there trying to decide if I was hallucinating. Hey," I finally said, stepping aside. She walked in like she still lived there, commented on how clean everything looked, then sat down and patted the cushion next to her. "We need to talk," she said. I braced myself for an apology, an explanation, something. But instead she launched into wedding plans. "Our venue's still holding our date," she said, like we'd been chatting every day. And I was thinking, lavender for the table settings? It's timeless, don't you think? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I cut her off mid-sentence. "Lily, what are you doing here?" She blinked, confused, like I just asked her why the sky was blue. "I'm here to fix things," she said, matter of fact. I laughed, sharp and bitter. "Fix things?" I leaned forward. "You mean the relationship you hit pause on while you sorted through your feelings for your ex? That relationship?" Her face went pale. "That's over," she said. "I don't have feelings for him anymore. It's you I want to be with." I got up and started pacing because sitting still was impossible. "And I'm supposed to just believe that? Take you back like nothing happened? Do you hear how insane that sounds?" She blinked again, clearly not expecting the anger in my voice. "I needed time. I didn't want to hurt you." "You didn't want to hurt me?" I snapped. "Lily, you ghosted me for weeks. You didn't tell me anything, not a word, until I had to drive to your hometown just to figure out what the hell was going on. And now you're standing here acting like it's no big deal?" "It's not like that," she insisted. I was confused. I didn't know what I was feeling, and I didn't want to make it worse. "Make it worse?" I shouted. "You did make it worse by disappearing. You left me in the dark while you were off. What? Rekindling things with your ex? Do you even realize what that did to me?" She opened her mouth, but I didn't let her speak. "No, you don't. Because if you did, you wouldn't be standing here expecting me to just pick up where we left off." She looked hurt, but I wasn't backing down. "Not this time." "I made a mistake," she said softly, eyes starting to water. "I know I messed up. But I'm here now. I want to make it right. I'll do whatever it takes." "Whatever it takes," I echoed, laughing coldly. "That sounds nice, Lily. But the truth is, I don't trust you anymore. What happens the next time you're confused? I'm supposed to just wait in limbo again while you figure out your emotions." She looked down, fiddling with her engagement ring. My ring. I felt a surge of anger just seeing it on her hand. "Take it off," I said abruptly. She looked up, startled. "The ring?" I said, pointing. "Take it off. You don't get to keep it, not after all this." Her eyes widened. For a second it looked like she might argue. But slowly, she slid the ring off her finger and placed it on the table between us. She stood there for a moment like she was waiting for me to change my mind. I didn't. I just stared at her, my face blank, my decision final. "Is this really it?" she asked. "You're just done?" "Yes," I said, steady. "I'm done. I'm not an option, Lily. You don't get to hit pause on me and then come back when it's convenient. That's not love. That's selfish." Her lips trembled. She looked like she wanted to say something, but instead she turned and walked out the door. That night, I sat on the couch staring at the ring on the table. It felt surreal, like the past few weeks had been some kind of fever dream. But one thing was clear. I made the right decision. I wasn't going to be someone's backup plan. I deserved better. And for the first time, I was finally ready to stand up for myself. After Lily's surprise visit, I was stuck in this weird emotional limbo. I wasn't ready to forgive her, but I didn't have the energy to confront her again either. So, I did what any guy might do. I avoided the situation and kept to myself. Then out of the blue I got a text from Mia, one of Lily's friends. We'd always been friendly, but we never really talked one-on-one. She messaged something like, "Hey, just checking in. I heard about the break and wanted to see how you're holding up." At first, I wasn't sure if it was a setup. But after staring at the screen for way too long, I replied, "Hey, thanks for reaching out. I'm doing okay, I guess." To my surprise, Mia was easy to talk to. She said she'd been through something similar and knew how much it sucked. We ended up texting back and forth. It felt good to talk to someone who wasn't judging or pushing, just listening. A few days later, she suggested we grab coffee. I wasn't really in the mood, but she was persistent. "Come on, it'll be good for you to get out of the house." Eventually, I said yes. When we met, it felt normal. Not romantic, not flirty, just two people talking. For the first time in weeks, I felt like someone cared about me, not the drama, not the wedding, me. Then she said, "You know, you deserve someone who appreciates you. Someone who doesn't take you for granted." I didn't know how to respond. I just said, "Yeah, I guess." But the thing is, I wasn't into Mia like that. She was kind, sure, but I was still dealing with the emotional wreckage Lily left behind. I wasn't ready for anything new, and I didn't want to lead her on. That didn't stop Mia from texting more often. Memes, hangout invites, casual check-ins. Not overbearing, but clearly testing the waters. Eventually, she asked me to dinner. I tried to decline, but she pushed back. "It's just dinner. Don't overthink it." So I went. And it was awkward. She showed up like it was a date, dressed to impress, while I was in a hoodie and jeans. There was a weird tension I couldn't ignore. After that, I told myself, no more hanging out with Mia, at least not alone. I didn't want mixed signals or more drama. But somehow, Lily found out. Maybe Mia told her. Maybe a mutual friend blabbed. Or maybe Lily just has some sixth sense when it comes to sniffing out my business. The next day, she showed up at my door, furious. No warning. No text. Just pounding like the house was on fire. I opened the door, already annoyed. "What the hell are you doing?" she snapped, storming inside. "Nice to see you too, Lily. What do you want?" "You've been hanging out with Mia. My friend." I crossed my arms, staying calm. "Sorry, what exactly makes you think you get to question me about anything I do?" "She's my friend. This is humiliating." I laughed. "Humiliating? Lily, we're done. You made your choice. You walked away. What I do now isn't your business." Her face twisted in disbelief. "So that's it? You're just moving on?" I shrugged. "What did you think I was going to do? Sit around waiting for you to decide if I'm good enough?" "I came back because I realized I still love you," she yelled. "Too late," I said, blunt as ever. "Honestly, maybe you should go back to your ex. You're good at circling back to your old options." Her face turned red. "You don't get to act like you're better than me." "Let what slide? That I'm over it? Over you? Not my problem anymore, Lily." "You'll regret this," she hissed. "Don't think I won't make you regret it." I opened the door wide. "Go ahead. Make all the threats you want. But you're not my problem anymore." She stared at me, then stormed out. I locked the door and exhaled. I was done. After Lily left, the silence felt different. It wasn't heavy. It wasn't tense. It was peaceful. A couple days later, Mia texted me asking if I wanted to grab lunch. I hesitated. She'd been kind, but I felt like she was starting to see this as more than just friendship. Still, I figured one lunch couldn't hurt, and I could use it to set things straight. When we met up, everything felt light on the surface, but underneath there was tension. She laughed too hard, leaned in too close, looked at me like she was waiting for something. Midway through lunch, I said, "Mia, I really appreciate everything, but I want to be honest. I'm not looking for anything right now. I just want to be friends." Her face fell for a second, but she recovered quickly. "Oh yeah, of course," she said, waving it off. I didn't mean to make it weird. I was relieved. We parted ways, and I thought that was the end of it. But as I walked to my car, I saw Lily, half a block away, leaning on a streetlight, pretending to scroll her phone. She wasn't just randomly there. She was watching. Over the next week, I saw her more. Her car near my place. At the grocery store, ducking into another aisle when I noticed her. Never saying anything. Just lurking. One night, I went out for takeout. Saw her car again in the restaurant lot. Later, when I got home, there it was, down the street. That was it. I didn't confront her. I just texted, "Lily, I've noticed you around. Stop following me. This isn't healthy and it's not going to change anything." No reply. I didn't expect one. But the next day, her car was gone. The days after that, peaceful, quiet. Mia texted a few more times. I kept it friendly but distant. I wasn't about to let another situation spiral. Right now, I'm focused on me, on healing, on moving forward. Lily might still be out there watching or waiting, but I'm not giving her another second of my life. I'm done. For good. And if there's one thing I know now, it's this. I deserve better.